Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I must state it's very important so that we have a level playing field. The rules are very clear. Please, no partisan chanting, cheering, yelling, or clapping. Let's hear what each candidate has to say. And the rules, once again, for the opening presentation, 5 minutes for each candidate. For the questions, 3 minutes allowed. And we will be fair because if a particular question is asked to a particular candidate first, the next time around we'll ask the other candidate first. So we're going to keep it very balanced and very fair. It's very important. Okay. So, and also, if you have an opinion, if you have something that's burning that you want to ask, you will get the opportunity later on in the program. We have a limited time. We must get it started. We must get it done. Okay. So panelists, are you ready? Okay. Fantastic. We're about to kick it off right now, ladies and gentlemen. So please get ready. Lagos State is very blessed. We have two gentlemen with us who ordinarily in any other state, they will probably win the elections hands down. But they are going up against each other in probably the biggest economy in Nigeria in terms of your states. So today, it is about getting to know them, getting to find out what their plans are. As we mentioned earlier on, we're about to embark and give them a chance to make a presentation and to let us know, and the business sector, why they should be the next governor of this great state, Lagos. So ladies and gentlemen, please, first to the podium. Can I give a round of applause, please, for the governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress, APC. Welcome, Mr. Akinwumi Ambode.
The president of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the ESCO members of the chamber, the panelists, and everyone seated here. My name is Akinwumi Ambode. I was born 51 years ago. I was born in Epe, which is the eastern part of Lagos State. I have had the privilege to have attended the best schools locally and internationally. I started my career at Lagos State Waste Disposal Board in 1985, which is an important agency of government. I worked as treasurer in several local governments where I developed a deep understanding of how government works at the grassroots level. I also acquired a deep understanding of how local government finances operate and its impact on our citizens. Thereafter, I became the Auditor General for local government, where I had an overview of the 57 local government and LCDs and the way they operate. This was, in essence, a larger stage for me to operate and develop my knowledge of how the entire local government system operates. I then moved on to become the Auditor General and Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance at the age of 37, where I had even larger stage to open and interact and learn from two different governors in which this state had produced. Beyond that, I have worked in a company that you can refer to as Lagos State Government. And in doing all that for 27 years, I built all my skills and experience to become what you can refer to today as the managing director of that company. I've also worked as an entrepreneur in the private sector. I opened up a consulting firm that actually specialized in public financial management. I haven't gone to school to earn my skills at the Harvard Kennedy School of Government on public financial management. So I've developed some kind of partnership in the areas which I found myself in my career. I come with the experience in the private sector and also a deeper experience from the public service. I have been an employer of labor, and I also understand what it takes to run a business in the private sector. I want to be the governor because I believe with my experience in the private sector, joined with the public sector experience, there is still more that I can do for my state, and that's why I want to serve. I believe strongly that public service is a noble service. Throughout my career, I have developed myself internally and also externally. I have cutting-edge skills to prepare me for the different tasks that is ahead of me as the governor of Lagos State. I obtained my ICANN qualification at the age of 24. I became a graduate at 21. I got to the peak of my career at 37. If you're looking for somebody that has cognate experience to run this company called Lagos State, that's the person that is in me. What I just need to tell you, if we took Lagos State as a construction site, I can say clearly that I've been a plumber, I've been a carpenter, I've been a foreman, I've been a supervisor. What I want now is for you to join hands with me to make me the project manager for the next 4 years. And then what's my vision? My vision is to see a clean, secure, and more prosperous Lagos State that is driven with service, driven with equity and justice, and a robust economy. My message is still the same. My message is the message of Lagos, where L stands for leadership. And we're looking for strong leadership. I open myself up to say I'll be accountable, and that's where A is. And G, to give you good governance, where we have all opportunities for everyone to thrive in Lagos, and then I give you selfless service. And what are the key issues for us here? There are 4 cardinal issues that we need to look at in the development of Lagos State. We're looking at the economic development pillar, in which we can create a thriving economy, a thriving business environment for all our private sector investors to be able to thrive comfortably, and then make cost of governance so comfortable and cheap for them. Beyond that, we'll be looking at our social infrastructure, where we are able to ensure that all things that we lay down is for the benefit of our people. And that was the essence of what we're saying. We ensure that there's security in the states. Lagos has become safer in the last 7 years. And then the whole gamut of what we want is to create more jobs for our people. Nobody can create jobs than all the people that are seated here. It's for us to create an enabling environment for all of you, to allow us join hands together as partners to create jobs for our youths. Beyond that. Thank
you, sir. I'm sorry, time is up, sir. Can we have a round of applause, please, for the APC candidate? We'd like to welcome to the podium Mr. Jimmy Agbaje, the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry, sir, just before you, please, as we mentioned earlier on, just keep it civil, polite applause, please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Olisa. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me especially recognize the president of the chamber, the executive members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jimmy Agbaje, the gubernatorial candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Lagos State. I'm a pharmacist by profession, 57 years old, born and bred in Lagos, an indigene of Lagos State. Let me say that I've lived all my life here in Lagos, except, of course, for my university education, which I did at the university, the then University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University. A very proud Nigerian, a proud and even prouder Lagosian. I've traveled across different parts of the world, of the globe, and I've seen cities, I've seen global mega cities, I've seen cities that have grown. I come and say that my state, this city-state, can be a much better city-state. So I look at a Lagos that is a global mega city, populated by well-educated, highly skilled, healthy people living in a secure and prosperous environment. I'm looking at a Lagos that brings opportunities to everyone. And when I say everyone, I mean everyone, irrespective of their socioeconomic background, irrespective of their gender, irrespective of their tribe or religion. A Lagos that is more business friendly, bearing in mind that it is the economic hub of our country and the sub-region. So I look at a Lagos that must be more business friendly. And it's on that note that the agenda, at least as it affects the business community, is set. I come from a private sector background. I started as a small what you call a small entrepreneur. Started with a one pharmacy shop, and I've grown my business in a way that we have gone into manufacturing. In fact, first took the first steps of small-scale manufacturing before setting up what you could call a factory. We have represented multinationals in this country as far as pharmaceuticals are concerned. So I know that if we want to run an economy, a Lagos economy, that is driven by the private sector, I know where the shoe pinches. So I'm coming on board and saying that our agenda is set by the realities that we have today. We have the macro level realities where the oil price has come down to below $50 and is estimated that it could reach $40. That in itself brings challenges to our economy in Lagos. And that means that we have to look at doing things differently. We're looking at an economy where with the oil price drop and all, we're going to have an economy that our foreign our allocation from the federal is likely to shrink. Income from taxes and VAT will reduce. Even the IGR will be affected if the economy remains so. We estimate that this will be so for the next 2 years or so. And that means, and we also have that combined with the national reforms going on in our country, the rail system, for example. These are issues that are likely to affect Lagos. Lagos, it means that Lagos will lose some of its competitive advantage as we move forward. If you use the rail system, for example, it means that industries may find it more convenient to take their businesses to where the raw material is and begin to ship their finished products to Lagos. It means that some of our residents will find it more convenient to stay outside Lagos and come by rail to Lagos. So there is the issue that we cannot take for granted that Lagos will continue to thrive. And so our agenda is set that if we want to affect that, then the micro level realities, the issues of security, the issues of infrastructure development, the issue of labor and manpower, these are issues that will affect us as we move on. The issue of the cost of doing business in Lagos. And so our agenda is set for us, where we're able to say it is time for us to look at these issues in a way that we can move forward. And so we're saying that the way forward for Lagos, bearing in mind these realities, is a diversified economy. We need to diversify the economy of Lagos much more than we are today. We need to look at new areas. We're talking of specialized economy. We're looking at specialized economy. Is it time? Oh, really?
Yes, sir. Please. Time up, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We now move on to the part where it's the Q&A from our panelists. What will happen is the panelists will ask a question to one candidate, and he will get 3 minutes to respond, and the same question will be offered to the other candidate, and he will have 3 minutes as well to respond. So please, once again, can we keep some decorum in the hall? Keep all the clapping and chanting and cheering to a bare minimum, please. We're going to start, as we started with the APC candidate first of all. This time around, we're going to start with a candidate from the PDP. And the first question is from Gabriel. Please, Gabriel, go ahead, sir.
Candidates, we want to welcome you to this session. The first question is on the economy. The Lagos State is Africa's 5th largest economy. What big plans do the candidates have to sustain the growth trajectory of the Lagos economy? As the moderator has said, first candidate will take the question for 3 minutes, and then the second candidate. And I will urge the timekeeper to make himself more visible to candidates so that they are aware at the time that they have about a minute left so that they can properly round up their presentations. So the first candidate, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, basically, like I was saying, I think you've helped me out a bit, that we're looking at a more diversified economy for Lagos. We have to look at new areas, and we're taking one, the issue of what we call the ocean economy. We are surrounded, in fact, we're on water in Lagos, but we have not yet tapped the potentials. And our ocean economy is looking at a new frontier where we take Ikorodu-Ekpe axis and begin to look at how we can make that axis a national fish processing hub. What that means is that your processing and all the value chain benefits of this will come into place. We're looking at using our ocean economy to be also go into the boat industry, into the repair industry of boat engines and all. We're looking at a logistics base. These are new frontiers that we have to begin to take advantage of. We're talking in terms of how we make infrastructure development, for example, that we must bring the private sector involved in infrastructure development, housing, transportation, more than it is today, so that we can begin to see some benefits in this. We're looking at, of course, like I said, cost of doing business. We have to reduce the cost of doing business. We're looking at having a one-stop investment center, similar to what you have at the national level, but for more like the investment promotion, where a lot of the issues that affect business can be addressed better at the state, realizing that we need to have people coming in to Lagos.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Can we ask the other candidate to respond as well? The same question, sir? Would you like to have the question again? Gabriel?
Do you remember the question, candidate Ambode?
Yes, I'm fine. Yes, it's true that Lagos is the 7th largest economy. In population-wise, Lagos is larger than 32 countries in Africa. GDP of Lagos, as we speak, is $30 billion. In 2013, it was $109 billion. GDP now is $133 billion. That's giving you almost like 27 trillion. So what does that mean for us? It means that if we want to grow the economy of Lagos, even in terms of what we have, it is a clear fact that 10% of Lagos economy is in the formal sector. Almost 90% is informal. And we've already, stated it, that we can double the GDP of Lagos if we improve on the economy of the informal sector. When we harness what we have in Lagos, we'll be able to multiply that GDP. And GDP is talking about the combination of the goods and services that, drives the economy. So our own intention is to improve on the business environment for every entrepreneur and every businessman to thrive in Lagos. And in doing so, we will expand the economy in a manner that will allow us to expand our GDP. Beyond that, we intend to create more jobs. And creating these jobs is also in addition to allowing youth and those who are unemployed to have access to finance. We intend to create an employment trust fund that in the first 4 years, the government will be putting 25 billion down to allow each division have access to 1 billion each in every year. So all these are our youths that are unemployed, and even the small-scale entrepreneurs that don't have finance will have access to such finances that will expand and grow the economy.
Thank you, sir. We have the next question, please. Next question is from Ni. It's going to be to the APC candidate, please.
All right, thank you. Beyond the Niger Delta,